I've got the Mr. Bean car, I've got the Mr. Bean suit with that helmet which will unsettle your competitors. But we're in daily race A for this, however long they're going to run these daily races. They said that it's not weekly, it's going to be irregular, so maybe it's from a couple of days through to a couple of weeks. I don't know, no idea. But we're just changing the settings out. We'll just turn the traction control off. I find that with the Mini you don't really need the traction control on at all. What I have been doing though is I've been leaving it on the traction control on until I get into second gear, then switching it off. And I find that's a little bit useful with the launch. But yeah, this is a really it's quite a good little track. This is actually all revolves around this roller coaster turn, I suppose you could call it. We got this gold Mini, just no idea what it's doing. Braking down the third, a little bit too much braking, but we've got traffic in front. Get the inside, you can completely go on the inside of that corner and not get a penalty. I think as long as you don't touch the barrier on the inside, you'll be in enough. You won't get a penalty. But we'll take that quite nicely up to fifth. This corner at the back here, I take it, there's two ways of taking it. You can sort of do this and go in, or you can sort of brake a little bit later, go deep and have a nice run on this home straight. We've lost a place though, unfortunately, which isn't ideal, obviously. But this first corner, sort of, you do want to just try and let the accelerator do the work by letting go of the accelerator and just coasting around. But unfortunately, I let go too soon. We lose another position down to 7th now. We've got the gold Mini kind of behind me, so I'm a little bit nervous now. Sure enough, it's flashing its lights, rams into the back of me. Gets a 3-second penalty, thankfully. So yeah, I think these daily race A's, they are very beginner friendly. The set of 3 cars is, you get them all for one of the, I think it's the 3rd menu book mission that you get all 3 of these cars. The Mini is the best one out of the 3. Well, the Mini was the one that I upgraded. I think it's front engine, front wheel drive. The Mini in real life was adapted for rallying and touring racing, so can do it. The Fiat 500, if you really wanted to be a bit different, then yeah, go for it. I have seen Beetles, but unfortunately, as soon as the race starts, the Beetles just go backwards in the field. So unfortunately, we saw an opportunity there to get past this Dutch guy. I get a penalty for that. I felt at the time that I was sort of on the racing line. It needed to yield, but it crashed into me. Coming for a massive dive bomb, it gets the job done. It's taken the spot I wanted to go, so you can do that. You can just park your car on the apex. The only downside is that obviously I've got the run on it, and I've got the inside line as well. So you notice I'm using the bumper cam. The bumper cam is always the one that I used to use in previous Gran Turismos, but I'm finding that the roof camera, I suppose it is, it's really effective. Apart from on this car, I find that the camera angle, it points down too low, so you feel like you're driving but looking down onto the track rather than ahead. So I used the bumper cam for this one. Fortunately, we're going to serve this penalty, unjustified penalty, but of course I'd say that. Get out of the way of this gold Mini. braking a little bit early on this one, just to try and hit that apex nicely, run out onto the marbles a little bit, but yeah, just progressing around. This is one of my relatively early races I had in this event. It's probably one of the funnest ones, just or more unique ones, just because it was a bit of a mess in front with these cars. I think there was a couple of, I think it is that Gold Mini and the Dutch one that weren't necessarily the cleanest of races, but we got a nice exit out of that first corner. Brake quite nicely, do brake a little bit more than what you would, but got a nice angle onto the corner up here. Red Mini, that one is just, it's putting its car in all the awkward positions for me, haven't making me brake too much and change my racing angle, but it does run wide. Get the move done. So feel like it was going to dive bomb. Not really a lot I can do. Again, it's just kind of parked on the apex. This one's decided it's going to try and ram me off, but we'll get the job done anyway, just because it got such a just a much better run out of that corner. So last lap, again feeling like I'm taking this corner a little bit too fast. I'm dabbing the brake. You shouldn't really need to use the brake on this one, particularly with this setup, but now we're just trying to see what kind of slipstream we can get from these minis. I don't think the slipstream was that strong, but now we're just trying to get a nice smooth last few corners. I'm going up to the last corner. Doesn't look like anyone's got a penalty, surprisingly. So just going to, I feel like the car behind us is going to dive bomb, so I'm going to play this quite defensively. I'm moving over onto the inside sooner than I would usually. Goldman gets it all out of shape, but comes back on track without a penalty. But there we go, 7th unfortunately, so yeah. So we get 7th in the Mr. Bean car. We get 3 positions up. So yeah, not the worst result, but this is the setup I'm running. For this race, I have changed this setup, so I am using the low RPM supercharger now on this car, and I've adjusted the power output accordingly, but I might have another video on that. It's just that this Daily Race A, after you've run it sort of 2 or 3 times, it's just a little bit boring really. It's quite slow, the cars aren't particularly interesting, and everyone's running minis, so yeah, anyway, thank you for watching.